Were you one of the 200,000 plus people who've seen this video? The Cruel Prince series is way larger than you've probably ever been told. Let's get into the correct reading order for the actually massive Cruel Prince series. Yeah, I forgot a book. Okay, hold on. Not really a full book, and I didn't forget it. I actually didn't know about it. A couple nice people were really sweet in the comments and mentioned that I was forgetting one short story in this compilation video for everything that is in the Cruel Prince universe. And that missing short story is in Fairies Never Lie, Tales to Revel in. This is a collection of short stories by a variety of different authors, not just Holly Black. And Holly Black only has one short story in here called The Honest Folk. And that is a short story that does belong in the Cruel Prince universe. It deals with two of the characters from the original Cruel Prince trilogy. So it is a definite part of the Cruel Prince universe and should be included in your overall Cruel Prince collection of books, novellas, and short stories. And if you would like access to this short story for free online, stay tuned because I'm going to tell you where you can find it for free for the first time because I just recently found it and I'm going to share that with you so that you can also find The Honest Folk in its entirety for free. But this video is going to tell you where you should put The Honest Folk in the reading order for the Cruel Prince universe, where you can find it online for free, and whether or not it's even worth the read. So let's get into The Honest Folk by Holly Black from Fairies Never Lie and the Cruel Prince universe. Okay, reading order wise, this short story belongs after the third book in the Cruel Prince trilogy. So it belongs after The Queen of Nothing. It involves characters that are present throughout that trilogy, and the events in The Honest Folk happen before the sequel duology, Stolen Heir. So you need to read it after The Queen of Nothing. I don't think it particularly matters whether or not you read it before or after How the King of Elfhame Learned to Hate Stories short novella. I don't think it really matters if you read before or after. Just make sure that you read it after The Queen of Nothing and before Stolen Heir. That's the key. Where can you find it online for free? Okay, this is how I'm going to describe this. If you remember in my original video, I informed you that a vast majority of these short stories are on a Tumblr post by a person called The Cruel Queen. I'm so grateful she made a post called All Exclusive Short Stories, The Folk of the Air. This is what that post looks like. It has the vast majority of short stories in the Cruel Prince universe accessible for free. In that post, it does not have Honest Folk, but in the comments, a person has posted in the comments a link to the Tumblr post that's a little bit more buried that has the entire Honest Folk short story in totality, every single of like the 26 something pages that make up that short story, it's listed there. I've also posted that link in the comments of this video. So hopefully you'll be able to find The Honest Folk for free online if you would like to. And that actually directly leads into whether or not I think you should even read this, whether or not I think it's worth it as a short story. And my answer is no. I'm so sorry because I love Holly Black very much and I never want to have to say no to whether or not something's worth reading. It's not the worst thing ever. The Honest Folk is just probably the weakest short story, weakest narrative in the Cruel Prince universe that I've read. I was genuinely not particularly interested from start to finish. I don't think it gave anything more that was particularly valuable from the main series. It's really short and you can read it for free. So I will say I have not read the rest of the short stories in this book, so I can't comment on the book in its entirety. But if you were thinking about buying Fairies Never Lie solely for Holly Black's short story, I'm going to say not worth it. I think I spent like $17 on this book, and I don't even know if I'm going to keep it, to be honest. This short story is just meh, and I can access it for free. I could probably print it out as a booklet and add it to the back of my Queen of Nothing book. So I don't know. Maybe the rest of the short stories in this book are interesting and valuable and make this as a collection worth buying. I have not read the rest of these short stories. I also have no interest in reading the rest of these short stories. And Holly Black's addition to this book doesn't make me any more interested in reading this. Just personally. I mean this with all due respect to the authors in this book and the author, Holly Black herself. I love the Cruel Prince universe. It's absolutely fabulous. And I just found this short story to be unnecessary. And the conclusions of the short story are already present as assumptions, if you will. Like the outcomes are already seen in the Stolen Heir duology. So it really, honestly, and again, I mean this with all due respect, it really felt kind of like a fan fiction of somebody going, oh, I wanted the in-between from what happened with these characters between the end of The Queen of Nothing and the Stolen Heir duology. And I value that that's going to be something that people are going to want. I just don't care. And I did not care while reading it. And I thought it was kind of weak. And as a standalone short story, if it was a standalone, I mean, it's in the whole Cruel Prince universe, but reading it many, many months after I finished the Cruel Prince universe in total, I have to say this short story cannot in any way, in my opinion, stand on its own. It's very, very weak. I feel so bad because I feel like I'm judging really harshly. It's just, I guess what I'm saying is that It's not necessary to invest a ton of money to go get that short story because it's so short. It doesn't really add to anything. It doesn't tell you any new information. It tells you what you're already implicitly told in the Stolen Heir duology. It's just not necessary. But I'm grateful to everybody who informed me that I was missing a short story. Thank you for letting me know. I now have the complete Cruel Prince series. Now, when it comes to the Cruel Prince series, as I mentioned before, the Poison Eaters is a bit different than the short story in this book because the Poison Eaters as a whole, the book was written in totality by Holly Black. And then on top of that, almost all of the short stories in that book fit within the Cruel Prince universe. Yes, only A Land of Heart's Desire, or The Land of Heart's Desire, is in the Cruel Prince world with character crossover. But honestly, all of the short stories, or almost all of the short stories in that book, could belong in the fairy-esque world of the Cruel Prince universe. And honestly, I loved them. I loved the Poison Eater story. I thought it was amazing. The Land of Heart's Desire was really cute. I thought some of the other short stories were really intriguing and really interesting. The one short story I remember not having anything to do with the Cruel Prince universe had to do with The Coldest Girl in Cold Town. That short story from the Poison Eaters is what spawned Holly Black's desire to write the full-length book, which I am really excited to read because I really loved that short story. That was a really interesting short story. So I'm really curious to eventually read this book by Holly Black. I also have a couple other books by Holly Black that I'm really interested in reading, and I'm really curious if any of you have read these and what you thought, or if you even knew about them. One of them is the Book of Night duology with The Thief of Night as the second book. I believe this is only a duology, and I'm really excited for these two eventually. And then the last book I own of Holly Black's is The Curse Workers, which is actually an omnibus. It's kind of huge, and it's got 3 books inside of it from the Curse Workers trilogy, if you will, and I've really heard some interesting things about this trilogy, and the premise of it seems really interesting, so I'm excited to eventually read this book. All these books going right back up here. So while, yes, I am pretty heavily critiquing the fact that I didn't think that the Honest Folk short story in this book is worth it, I am not in any way trying to say Holly Black is not great, nor am I saying that I am not interested in continuing to read Holly Black, so keep that in mind as well. Okay, now you have all the information with the Holly Black short story, The Honest Folk. I hope you're able to find it. If you have any trouble, let me know in the comments, and I will see if I can help you find the online version if you're having any trouble. But like I said, the link should be in the comments, and I will post that link immediately after uploading this, so it'll be early in the comments. Now it's time for me to get back to Mistborn. I'm about 50 pages into this book, and I'm having a very good time. I love Brandon Sanderson, and I am so excited that I'm getting into the Cosmere, especially given the fact that we just found out Brandon Sanderson signed a, got a, whatever the correct term is, amazing deal with Apple TV for the entire Cosmere, including Mistborn, as well as the Stormlight Archive. I am so glad I'm starting to read these now because I've got this year, 2026, to read the entire Cosmere. I don't know when the TV movies are going to start coming out. I think I definitely have time to finish the Cosmere before they do, but I'm really excited that I should be finishing the Cosmere relatively close for the first time before the TV shows and movies come out. So I'm really thrilled, and I'm going to keep you updated as I continue to read the Mistborn trilogy. It's going to be a hot minute before that review because I did just start spring semester of grad school, and I am nosediving into my thesis. So I'm a busy bee, but I will be trying to keep up with posting with you all. It's going to include a variety of different recommendations of books I've read in the past, along with some of the series I got for Christmas this last year, blah, blah, blah. Lots of fun things, but that's why a book review for Mistborn is going to take a hot minute for me to get it out to you. It will come, though. Don't you worry. Keep reading what you love, and I will see you next time.